Hello everyone and welcome to the Kukuli Bushcraft channel. Okay, so today's subject, finally, the Mora Garberg. So yeah, this is the second one that I've owned. Stainless steel version, 14C28N. I've never owned the carbon steel version, and yeah, I've been using them on and off for about 2 years. Taking them into work, which is where I put knives to the test quite a lot. Yeah, it gives me a good impression of the edge retention and the strength. I work on a husky farm. I work in the dog sledding industry. There's a lot of work with rope cutting. Also, I'm the kind of resident carpenter handyman. I do quite a bit of woodwork. So there's a bit of that which actually means that quite a lot of bushcraft knives aren't really that suitable because of their size. This being round about a 4-inch blade is actually quite ideal. So yeah, 14C28N steel, about 4-inch blade. So that's 100 millimeters, 3 millimeters thick. Is that about 1/8 of an inch? Yeah, so it's very, very substantial. The first time I came across one of these was back in the UK. The first time I held one in my hands, and my immediate thought was, yeah, I've got to get one of those. That's just, it's the weightiness of it. It just feels like a good quality tool. The grip is really nice. Little trace of a finger guard, which it's not in the way at all, and yeah, I'm not too bothered about about finger guards really, but it is good that it's there. I've never, yeah, I mean, I use Finnish porcos a lot. I'm used to that not being there, and I've never injured myself, but you know, you could potentially injure yourself and it could be quite bad. Just because it's never happened to me doesn't mean it's never going to. Okay, so sheath options. Right, so I've also got the Cansball. I brought a couple of other knives with me for the sake of comparison. The Yakari Porco and the Mora Cansball. So yeah, the Cansball, the Garberg, they fit in basically the same sheaths. I've got the Cansball on my chest rig, and it's in the multi-mount, and this is really good for this kind of application. It fits both knives, and yeah, you've got the Velcro holding it on, more Velcro at the back to attach it to your molly system, and when you need your knife it just pulls out like that. Yeah, so the way that slides on, you've also got a belt loop that comes with the regular polymer sheath. So a closer look at the plastic sheath. So basically the same as the Cansball, you can slide this out so you can keep this on your belt, and the knife and sheath can go in the multi-mount or in your rucksack, and when you're using the knife you can put it in here. You do have to press it down and then quite securely, because otherwise when you sit down it just pushes it out. So you have to press it in quite firmly, and the same with the knife. It doesn't make any click as it goes into the sheath, but you do have to press it down quite securely, because if you just put it in it falls out, whereas as if you press it in firmly, then it's not going anywhere. But as if you're using your knife, you know, quite often your mind's on other things. And I think that's how I lost my first Garberg. so you have to be very careful that that goes good and snugly into the sheath. Now what I've got, also another thing to say about the multi-mount is I would not ever have it upside down. This thing, which is intended as an extra safety precaution, it's just not very good. So yeah, I'd always carry it mounted this way round. Now what I've got is the leather sheath, which I think is a far better option. Like I say, I bought this second hand. It came with this lovely castrum dangler, which you can buy separately, but I really like these things. I've got another one of them. I've made a video about these. So basically you've got a little carabiner and it clips on and off. So also obviously works with whatever knife you choose to put on there. Yeah, the leather sheath, really well made. The cover and the snap might annoy people, but you know, when you're in camp, that's got good enough retention as it is. When you're working with it, you just keep that without the snap closed. When you're moving, just close that up, and the flap really does not get in the way. I think the leather sheath is a much better option. Nice and sturdy, and yeah, a good sheath. The Garberg is Mora's first plastic handled full tang knife. You can see the thickness of the tang from the exposed glass breaker at the end, and yeah, they have made other full tang knives in the past. Nice leather sheath, and I think it's full tang to take the punishment of battening. I guess that was the idea behind it. Anyway, here I am with quite a thick piece of green birch, and yeah, it's about 3 inches thick, and I'm trying to split it with a Garberg. So, spoiler, I failed. And that, my friends, is why I like to carry an axe. But for the thinner stuff, it works absolutely fine. And as for food prep, well, it's got quite a low Scandi grind, so I would have thought next to the nice thin cans ball or the Yakari Poco with the higher grind, that it'd be quite bad at slicing meat. And yeah, there was a noticeable difference in between the three knives, and the Garberg wasn't quite as good, but the difference wasn't massive. Also with making feather sticks with the 3 knives, there was very little difference. So here we go, Mora Garberg. Terava Yakariboko. The feathers seem to be slightly curlier with this one. And the Cansball, what I found with this one, the performance was about the same, but I managed to get some really nice thin feathers using the belly and the flat grind at the front of the knife. All 3 of these knives will strike a ferro rod, and the Garberg has got a really nice sharp 90-degree spine. Okay, so final thoughts on the Mora Garberg. It's a really good knife, I think. Really sturdy, good steel. I didn't talk about the pommel. That's really sharp. You could use that with a ferro rod. Use it for cracking open some nuts. So I don't really use those things, to be honest. Yeah, but as if you're scraping birch bark to get a bit of tinder, I guess that would work really nicely. The plastic sheath I'm not so into, but as if you want to go with the multi-mount, as if you carry it in this kind of a fashion, I think this is set up for me wearing more clothes. It's May, the last 3 days have been really hot. 3 days ago all of this was covered in snow. Yeah. As if you want something a little bit more multifunctional, I think the Cansball is a better option. As if you're into hunting, fishing, things like that, if you're doing a lot of game prep, then that might work better. It has, however, got quite a... I think the tip might be a weak point. I personally like the Yakari Boko a little bit better. I like the higher grind, the fact it's a little bit longer, and I might be a little bit biased because it's Finnish. You never know. And yeah, but yeah, Mora always makes good stuff in my opinion, so I would recommend this knife. Thank you very much for watching. Please give us a thumbs up, drop us a comment, and I'll see you all again soon for another Kookily Bushcraft video. Bye for now. And I'm really sorry about what was going on with the light reflected on the lens of the camera right in the middle of my face. Filming the end of this video wasn't going well at all. What are you doing? Uni.